Okay, I haven't told you about my Mexicola Grande tree yet, so here we go. Mexicola Grande. Here's a big tree I planted, oh gosh, maybe 17, 18 years ago. You can see I didn't really do the greatest job of training it because it turned into a big mess. And no, I don't pull the leaves off my tree as it sprouts off the bottom. The deer do that incessantly, and we have a tough time establishing trees here because you know, these trees have to, get leaves on them and fill out to make any kind of mass, to make any kind of fruit. So, and if the deer keep eating these little baby trees, then they never make fruit. But this has been a wonderful tree. I've had it for 18 years. I can't tell how many pounds of fruit I've gotten off this tree. Right now, it's about March 3rd, March 4th. Once these trees get really big like this, and if you abuse them to the degree that I do, it didn't get any water at all this year. And I've never fertilized it. I should. Again, it's a really good example of, do as I say, not as I do. I have so much going on that I'm like a plant hoarder. Can't stop doing stuff, and I probably bite off more than I can chew because I can't stand not living without certain plants. But here's I'm picking some of these guys here, the Mexicola Grandes. They're not as grande anymore because I haven't been fertilizing and it didn't get any water this year, and it didn't fruit as heavily as it normally would have had I really coddled this thing. But anyway, this tree now is probably at a point where I really should do some aggressive pruning. It's probably 20 feet tall and 20 feet wide. And when trees get really big like this, even if you take really good care of them, they tend to get the fruit and tends to be a little smaller. And, and you could actually rejuvenate the whole tree if you just get really aggressive and cut it down hard. And so what I might do, I think, is to get in there and maybe just cut it back hard, like one stalk going up. And then, I'll still have fruit for the next year. And then coming back and getting it again later. Now, what's cool about this tree is the size of the leaves are so big and beautiful. And that's a really fun thing about this tree. You can see the contrast of the leaves here. Very different than the leaves of this one here is Stewart. And Stewart has a very beautiful leaf pattern, really compact and pretty. The Mexicola Grande is a little sloppier, but the leaves are huge and tropical looking. So that's kind of a fun thing. And of course, the black fruit on it is so beautiful, sexy. It's like a beautiful woman in her sexy black dress. You can't beat that. So, and the fruit, the taste of this fruit, I've had people say that it's the best avocado they've ever had. But what's cool, we're up here in Northern California. Even if you don't water your trees, Southern California, they probably die. There's not enough water down there to support that kind of thing. Once trees are established here, you can pretty much abandon them, and then they'll end up, not being as happy as they would be if you were totally taking care of them. But they'll still survive and they'll still fruit, which is really cool. There's absolutely no environmental input to this plant at all whatsoever now. And on this hillside, it's actually useful because just the leaf mulch down below the tree and the tree itself starving the ground of light stops the weeds from getting too big. And the rest of this hill where the sunlight is open, the weeds will get really tall. As the rain comes down, it hits the trees, it diffuses before it hits the ground. You have much less erosion. Trees, root systems hold the hill together. You can see it's a real steep slope right there. So there's a lot of really great environmental things that happen by the mere fact that you're planting a tree versus just having an open hillside. And of course, you have this canopy and structure for all kinds of birds and insects to live on. So it's just a wonderful thing to do. Anyway, and you might as well, if you're going to plant a tree, you might as well plant something you can eat. So that's my theory. It's the hardiest avocado there is. And it's hardy to 18 degrees. I've never seen it damaged here. I don't think we've ever gotten to 18. But this tree over here has been damaged. This is a Nabal. Really tropical looking tree. just slightly damaged 1 or 2 years when we're down to like 25, 26 degrees. But there's a little baby Nabal coming along there. And but anyway, this is a wonderful winter fruiting tree from the time of April when it sets its fruit and flower. The time you're eating is probably only about 6 or 7 months. And then it'll hold on the tree for 3 or 4 months after that. So there you go. Probably one of the most cold hardy avocados there is. The Mexicola Grande. And the Grande isn't even that grande if you don't water and you don't fertilize. So if you want to make it grande, make sure you water and fertilize, and you'll get a really nice Mexicola Grande. And of course, you don't have to peel it because the skin is really, really delicious, and you just eat the whole thing. And that's pretty much all I know about this plant. There you go.